Hello, friends. Welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. And I'm still battling this respiratory thing, so I'm going to apologize for my voice right off the bat. But I'm very excited to bring you today information about a set that I am excited about and a game demo that puts the set into action for you. The set is produced by my friend Chris White. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, that I have been critical of the APBA company for continuing to print sets that are for sale that use outdated Negro Leagues statistics. Chris and his team have produced a Negro Leagues All-Star set that I have purchased and I am happy to endorse. It's a wonderful set of cards. I want to show it to you today and do a game demo so you can see what they look like on the tabletop. But first, before we do that, I'm going to tell you about the set. I'm also going to give you all of the ordering information in the description for this video in case you want to follow up with Chris. His email will be in the description for this video. The price information, I'll talk about that in just a minute. Plus the shipping there as well, so that you know how much this costs. I'm also going to talk about what you get when it is shipped to you, because it's really a very nice set of cards. Plus, the cards aren't all you get, which I'm a fan of, and I'll explain more in a minute. First thing is, with this cards in this set, you get team envelopes for teams that you may put together. There are 160 all-time great Negro Leagues players in this set. The envelopes say Negro Leagues All-Stars. They're beautiful multicolored envelopes, and there's about 10 of them here. So you can divide up your own teams. And of course, as you probably know, but I'll tell you anyway, Negro Leagues teams varied between typically 14 on the low end and 18 players on the high end. So that would put you at an average of 16. Remember, my friends, there's three kinds of people. Those that can do math and those that cannot. And the zeros are coming in. I'm going to have to dive into my local foxhole in just a minute. Okay, so with my math skills, 160 cards, 10 envelopes, you can set up teams of 16. That would be very, very realistic roster sizes for a league or a tournament or however you want to do it. Chris White's also known for making cards that look good. And these are the backs of the cards. You'll see not only the name of the set, but you'll also see the logos for many of the most prominent Negro Leagues teams at the bottom. These are on the backs of every card in the set. The card stock is excellent. I would put it on a thickness with Fall Classic or Payoff Pitch. These are well beyond what we're used to in the hobby. And the cards are, as you can see, clearly printed, professionally printed with multicolored use of colors, fonts. Very, very readable. All right, let's take a look at the cards and what else you get with the set. With the set, you get a roster sheet that lists for you all of the players available. You can see on mine, I'm already starting to make teams sort of chronologically. And so I'm putting in some years to try and set up my team. I'm into eras when I do all-star sets, so I like to figure out, okay, which of these players would be contemporaries. But you could organize them any way that you wanted to do it. This is the list in red of the 160 players that are available in there that are in the set, organized by position. You can see that you get plenty of catchers, which is always the problem in these sets. You don't get enough catchers to be able to do teams, but there's plenty in here. First base, second base, short, third, and then a lengthy list of outfielders. This is a great set to be able to learn about the biggies in the Negro Leagues if you don't know them, or to just celebrate and have fun with the best of the best from the Negro Leagues. Now, the other thing that you can do that I am looking forward to doing as well is to lining up some of these teams against the bats sets from APBA, because you would have the best of the best in here, and you would have the best of the best in the APBA sets as well. So let's take a look at what the cards look like. Before we do the game demo with some of these guys, I want to show you what the cards look like. Master game. First of all, the history on the cards is excellent. Walter Ball, if you don't know, was one of the very first early, and certainly a dead ball pitcher, who also transitioned into the post-dead ball era, but he started pitching around 1903. So to give you an example of the history covered here, we go from Walter Ball to Roy Campanella, stretching the excuse me, stretching the history of the Negro Leagues almost 45 years. So you're getting a full time range. This isn't focusing on any particular decade, but you get the whole span here. And I'm showing you the cards to show you that the master game info is on here. If a player like Walter Ball was a two-way player, so in other words, he pitched, but he also played a position on the field other than pitcher, they're rated for that as well. And you can see that the font size is nice and big, even for bad eyes like mine. I can read this with no trouble. Same thing on a straight hitters card. So you can see that the platoon splits are here, your injury ratings, as well as your master game defense and arm and all that good stuff is included as well. Let's take a look at some of the other cards in the set very quickly. Here's your Satchel Paige card. Again, running these guys not only against each other, but against other bats teams be a lot of fun. Or just have them barnstorm through your box. Josh Gibson. Turkey Stearns, one of my favorites. Several teams, Chicago, Detroit, believe St. Louis as well. Leon Day, the Newark star pitcher. Judd Wilson, for my money, the best hitter in the Negro Leagues. You might disagree. He's one of my favorites. I'm so happy he's in the set. A lot of positions. Some of them not too well for Judd, but he could rake. Here's Willie Wells, the Devil. You can see again multiple positions. Cool Papa Bell, primarily a position player, but you can see he also got time on the mound. Players like this that's indicated on the cards very nicely. Larry Doby, again, going up well into the 40s for some of these guys, representing the best of Negro Leagues baseball. Ted Radcliffe, I pulled this card because I wanted to show you that he is indeed double duty on your card. Minnie Minoso, again, coming up almost to 1950. Multi-position players are in the set, and you got to have them if your roster is going to be 14 to 18 players large. Jimmy Lyons is another example. He was primarily an outfielder for St. Louis, but he also got some time on the mound. Pop Lloyd, best shortstop ever, probably, in the Negro Leagues. You can see the defensive ratings. Jose Mendez played everywhere and was a manager. So you can see everything is carded there for you. And I couldn't go through this without showing you Charlie Oscar Charleston. All right. So that's what the cards look like. Again, the backs are here. And let's get into a demo game and use some of these guys on the table. All right, so what I did was divided up. I pulled out 52 of the players that I think are among the very best in Negro Leagues history. I don't know that I got the 52 best. I went with 8-man pitching staffs, put together all-star teams. I'm going to show you the teams in just a minute. Basically, 1925 was my cutoff point. So there's a pre-1925 team. I'm going to call them the Dead Ballers, even though I know Dead Ball didn't leak into the 20s, really. Although, in a way, it sort of did for the Negro Leagues, but we're still going to call them the Dead Ballers. And then the post-25, I'm calling modern. So it'd be 25 to, I think most of these guys were out of there by the late 40s. In fact, I can't think of any in the set that weren't. So they both have about 25-year time spans. And so here's the bench for the Dead Ballers: Bill Holland, Walter Ball, Rube Foster, John Donaldson, Bullet Joe Rogan, Cannonball Dick Redding, Nip Winters, Bruce Petway, George Carr, George Scales, Dobie Moore, Grant Johnson, Ali Marcel, Spot Poles, Cristobal Torriente, and Alejandro Ohms. Again, to make this team, you had to be, in my judgment, among the best of the best, but I was only keeping 8 pitchers, so really, probably some more pitchers deserve to be on. And you got to have your salad days of your career, 1925 or earlier. Some of these guys are kind of borderline on that. The bench for the modern team: Willie Foster, Hilton Smith, Ray Brown, Leon Day, Webb McDonald, Ted Trent, Andy Cooper, Biz Mackey, Quincy Troop, Mule Suttles, Sammy Hughes, Dick Lundy, Ray Dandridge, Willard Brown, Ted Strong, Sam Bankhead. All right. The lineups for the Dead Ballers go like this. Pete Hill will lead off in right field. Pop Lloyd will bat second at short. Oscar Charleston will bat third in center field. John Beckwith will bat fourth. He'll play third. Chino Smith will bat fifth and be the DH. Hurley McNair bats sixth. He'll be in left field. Louis Santop will bat seventh. He'll catch. Ben Taylor will bat eighth. He'll play first. And Bingo DeMoss will bat ninth at second base. The pitcher is Smokey Joe Williams. He was, or is in this set, an A pitcher with XYZ modifiers. He's another guy. Could be really on either team, but the most of his career was in that dead ball period, so I'm going to give him that. 45 defense points if you add in Joe Williams' 2 points. So this team is fielding 1. For the modern team, Cool Papa Bell leads off in left field. Turkey Stearns bats second. He'll be in center. Buck Leonard bats third. He'll play first. Josh Gibson bats fourth. He'll catch. Willie Wells bats fifth. He'll play short. Judd Wilson bats sixth. He'll be the DH. Rap Dixon bats seventh. He'll be in right. Judy Johnson bats 8th, he'll play 3rd, and Newt Allen will bat 9th and play second base. On the mound, it's Satchel Paige. He's an AC pitcher in the set with KYZ modifiers. This team has 46 defense points, so they're also going to be a fielding 1. All right. If you contact Chris White at the email that's in the description for this video, tell him you saw my video. That would be interesting. I'd like to know how many folks buy the set based on the video. So tell him you saw Kurt's video on YouTube. Thank you. All right. So Pete Hill is stepping in the batter's box against Satchel Paige. And here we go with our all-star game. And Pete Hill swings and misses on the broccoli cauliflower medley. 1 down in the first. Pop Lloyd coming up. Paige kicks and deals. This one is popped up. And it's Judy Johnson in fair territory. He's going to take it for out number 2. And now Oscar Charleston. Paige winds and delivers. And that one is grounded to Buck Leonard at first. He gloves it to his right. Feeds Satchel Paige covering. And we got a 1-2-3 first inning. The modern team coming to the plate for their version of inning number 1. Cool Papa Bell, Turkey Stearns, Buck Leonard coming. And that one is going to be ball 4. So Cool Papa Bell is on base. Ready to run. And why not? Why not? So we're going to do a hit and run here with Turkey Stearns. See if we can get Cool Papa Bell in motion. Williams the stretch and the delivery. This will be a 53. That's a 16. And there's a base hit over the head of Bingo to Moss, bouncing into right field. Around second goes Cool Papa Bell, heading for third. And we got Moderns at the corners with nobody out. In the first inning, Buck Leonard coming up first and third. So those dead ballers are going to put the... I think they're going to stay back. Play for a double play. Williams the stretch, the pitch to Leonard. And that's hit to right. Back a few steps goes Pete Hill. He had a powerful arm. He makes the catch. Tagging at third and scoring is Cool Papa Bell. Pete Hill's throw goes into second base, and it's 1-0 Moderns. Josh Gibson coming up with Stearns at first, and 1 man out now. Smokey Joe Williams, the stretch and the delivery. This one's hit to right. One more chance for Pete Hill. He's over by the line, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Here's the devil, Willie Wells. The stretch by Williams and the delivery. Ground ball hit to Bingo to Moss. He's going to go the short way to Pop Lloyd at short. And that will retire Stearns on the fielder's choice and end the inning. The Moderns get a run. On a hit, they leave 1. Those bases on balls. We go to the second. It's 1-0. Paige will face Beckwith, Smith, and McNair. Gonna make some substitutions during the game. Treat this as a sort of an all-star game. Try and get everybody in. We'll see how that goes. Paige to Beckwith. And John Beckwith hits a comebacker to Satchel. He gloves it and tosses to Buck Leonard for out number 1. Charles Chino Smith, Paige kicks and deals. Ground ball hit to Judy Johnson at third base. He gloves it to his left and fires to Buck Leonard for out number 2. Now it's Hurley McNair. Tough to choose a starting left fielder on this team. Pitch to Hurley. Lifted to right. Rap Dixon in the gap, has plenty of room and plenty of time to get there for out number 3. After an inning and a half, the Moderns are leading the Dead Ballers 1-0. Judd Wilson, Rap Dixon, Judy Johnson, 6, 7, 8 coming for the Moderns in inning number 2. Williams winds and deals. This is hit on a line to left. And that is Hurley McNair coming on, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Rap Dixon, 1 out, nobody on. Williams kicks and deals. Base hit to left for Rap Dixon. McNair gets it back in. Here comes Judy Johnson. 1 out, 1 on for the Moderns. They're threatening to score again. Williams the stretch and the delivery. There goes Rap Dixon. The throwdown from Santop to DeMoss is not in time. Dixon slides in with a stolen base. Aggressive all-star base running. Johnson with a good chance to drive in their second run right here. Williams the stretch and the delivery. Judy hits this one on the ground to Pop Lloyd. He cuts it off from going up the middle. Plants and throws to Ben Taylor at first base, and that retires Johnson by a step. But Dixon goes to third base. He doesn't score yet. He goes to third on the ground out. And here comes Newt Allen with 2 outs. Joe Williams going to go from the windup. Pitch to Newt. Ball 4. He walked him. Moderns at the corners with 2 outs. And Papa Bell coming up. Williams, the stretch, checks the runners. The pitch home to Papa Bell. That's hit in the air to right. Here comes Pete Hill, and he's going to make the catch for out number 3. Rap Dixon does not score. They leave 2. We go to the third, and it's 1-0 Moderns. We're an inning away from getting some subs in there. In the top of the third, it'll be Santop, Ben Taylor, and Bingo DeMoss coming against Satchel Paige. Paige kicks and deals. It's been 6 up and 6 down for Satchel so far. Base hit, right field. Santop breaks the string. First base runner for the Dead Ballers. Now it's Ben Taylor. And I think we're going to have those Dead Ballers do a little small ball. So, Page the stretch, the pitch to Taylor. He squares to bunt. And, ooh, that would have been a good one. All right. And Taylor's bunt is an 8. That's coming back to Satchel Paige. Newt Allen covers first. Paige throws him the ball, and the sacrifice moves Santop up to second base. With 1 out, here comes Bingo DeMoss. Good offensive player. And a chance to tie the game here for the Dead Ballers. Paige the stretch. The delivery to DeMoss. Ground ball, Willie Wells to his left. He cuts it off from going up the middle, throws to Buck Leonard, and that'll retire DeMoss by a step. Santop moves to third. There's 2 outs now, and Pete Hill coming up with the tying run 90 feet away. Page the stretch, the pitch to Pete. Hit in the air to center. Turkey Stearns on the run. He's going to get there in front of the track and make the catch for out number 3. So the Dead Ballers threaten but do not score in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. The Moderns lead 1-0. In the bottom of the third, Turkey Stearns, Buck Leonard, Josh Gibson coming up 2, 3, 4 for the Moderns. Stearns is 1 for 1. Here's Joe Williams, Wines and Deals. I struck him out on the broccoli cauliflower medley with a little nacho cheese. Yes. Buck Leonard now. Sack fly plated the Moderns run in the first inning from Buck. Williams kicks and delivers. It's lifted to right. Under this one is Pete Hill. Back a few steps. Makes the catch for out number 2. Josh Gibson. He's 0 for 1. Williams kicks and delivers. Josh hits it on the ground to third base. That's Joe Beckwith, who makes the play over to Ben Taylor for out number 3. Everything's a little bit of an adventure wherever you put Joe Beckwith on that field, but he can hit the ball. We go to the 4th with your score. Moderns 1, Deadballers nothing. Okay, a couple changes. Willie Foster, the lefty, is going to take the mound for the Modern team. Satchel Paige is done. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Willie Foster is an A pitcher with an X modifier. He's going to take over here in the 4th. Into right field in place of Rap Dixon goes Willard Brown for the Moderns. He's going to bat where Dixon was in the order in the 7th spot. All right, that's it for changes so far. For the Deadballers, it'll be Pop Lloyd, Oscar Charleston, Joe Beckwith. 2, 3, 4 in the 4th inning. Here's Foster's pitch to Pop Lloyd. And it's popped up, ironically enough. Newt Allen on the infield dirt by second base is going to take it for out number 1. Oscar Charleston coming now. Foster kicks and deals. It's hit on a line to left. Cool Papa Bell is there, and there's 2 down. Beckwith with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Chino Smith would be next. The pitch from Foster popped up. And that's Judy Johnson on the infield grass. A jam job on Beckwith. And that will retire the Deadballers in the 4th. We go to the bottom of 4. 1-0 Moderns. All right, Rube Foster, Willie Foster's big brother, and a right-hander. He takes over on the mound for the Deadballers. Smokey Joe Williams went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, a strikeout, and 2 walks. Rube Foster is a B pitcher. He has a Y modifier. He'll face Willie Wells, Judd Wilson, and Willard Brown, the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Moderns lineup in the 4th as they look to pad their lead. All right, Willie Wells is 0 for 1. Rube Foster kicks and deals. Base hit over the head of Pop Lloyd. Willie Wells is aboard with a leadoff single in the 4th. Infield for the Deadballers moves to double play depth. Here's Judd Wilson for my money, the best hitter in Negro League's history. But that's me. I'm Mr. Vegas. The pitch from Foster to Wilson is ball 4. He takes the pitch. A close call, but he trots down to first base. 2 on now for the Moderns with nobody out. And here comes Willard Brown in his first at-bat. First and second, nobody out. Those Deadballers are going to get the bullpen cooking here. Walter Ball starts to throw. He was a Deadballer for sure. His best seasons before 1910. All right. Foster to Brown. The pitch. Lifted to center. Back a few steps. Goes Oscar Charleston, but he's got room and he puts it away for out number 1. Runners return to their bases. And Judy Johnson comes to the plate. Foster the stretch, the pitch to Judy. Ground ball to Beckwith at third. He knocks it down, boxes it for a minute, picks it up, fires to Ben Taylor, and they get Judy Johnson at first by a half step, but the runners are going to move up 90 feet to second and third. Wells at third base now. Wilson at second. 2 outs, and it's Newt Allen. Not your idea of a great RBI man. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think we're going to go Sammy Hughes here to try and drive in that run. Or those runs, as it turns out to be. So Sammy Hughes will be the new second baseman. He's going to pinch hit here in the bottom of the fourth. And he will take over at second. Not the glove man that Newt Allen was. But there's still going to be a fielding one defense. But before we do those calculations, let's see if Sammy can drive home some runs. Rube Foster the stretch. First base is open. Cool Papa Bell would be next. The pitch from Foster, and this is trouble. Hit to left, and here comes Hurley McNair. And he drops the ball. Clank off his gloves. Scoring is Wells. Scoring is Judd Wilson with 2 outs. It's 3-0 Moderns. Let's see how far Sammy Hughes is going to get. He's coming around first, and the throw is going home. It's late on Judd Wilson. Sammy gets to second on the E7. That increases the Moderns' lead to 3-0. Here's Cool Papa Bell. Rube Foster should be out of the inning, but he's not. The stretch, the pitch to Cool Papa Bell. Base hit just over the outstretched glove of Bingo DeMoss. Gets into right field. Around third comes Sammy Hughes. It's 4-0 Moderns. Cool Papa Bell with an RBI. And that'll bring up Turkey Stearns. Foster the stretch. The pitch to Turkey. Hit on the ground to DeMoss. He's going to go the short way to Pop Lloyd, and that's going to retire the side. But a bad inning for the dead ballers as the Moderns get 1, 2, 3 unearned runs. But they're going to count. We go to the fifth. Moderns 4, dead ballers nothing. All right, changes now. Going to the top of the fifth. Sammy Hughes takes over for the Moderns at second base. After pinch hitting and reaching on McNair's botch in left field. Ray Dandridge is going to take over for the Moderns at third base. He'll bat eighth where Judy Johnson was. Dick Lundy becomes the new shortstop. He's on for Willie Wells. He'll bat fifth. Mule Suttles will take over at first base for Buck Leonard. He's going to bat third. Willie Foster is back out for his second inning of work for the Moderns. He's got a 4-0 lead. We're going to see some new hitters for the dead ballers. Charles Smith is going to lead off, but then Spot Poles is going to bat for McNair, and Bruce Petway will bat for Louis Santop. If anybody reaches, Tank Carr is going to bat for Ben Taylor and take over at first. So we'll see if that happens. Dead ballers down 4-0. We're in the top of the fifth. The pitch from Willie Foster. This one is hit on the ground to new third baseman Ray Dandridge. He gloves it to his left and fires to new first baseman Mule Suttles for out number 1. Spot pulls the pitch from Foster. Slap to center, coming on is Turkey Stearns for out number 2. And now Bruce Petway with nobody aboard. George Tank Carr would be next. Willie Foster kicks and deals. And that's popped up. On the infield dirt is new second baseman Sammy Hughes, and he's going to take it for out number 3. 6 up and 6 down for Willie Foster. We're halfway through this one. The Moderns lead 4-0. All right, couple more changes for the dead ballers. Ollie Marcel is in at third base for John Beckwith. And George Carr takes over at first for Ben Taylor. But defense stays at 45. Still a 1. We have a new pitcher for the dead ballers. It's Walter Ball. He's a B pitcher with a Z modifier. All right, he will face in the Moderns' 5th inning Suttles, Gibson, and Dick Lundy in his first at bat. And so here, and as I'm throwing dice all over the room, here we go. The pitch from Ball to Suttles. Hit on the ground to Pop Lloyd. He's up with it. And throws to Tank Carr at first for out number 1. Josh Gibson in his third at bat. He's 0 for 2. Ball kicks and deals. Josh hits it on the ground to Bingo to Moss. He gloves it and throws to Carr for out number 2. Dick Lundy. First at bat for Dick. Pitch from Ball. Hit in the air to center. Coming on is Oscar Charleston, and it's a 1-2-3 5th inning for Walter Ball. We go to the 6th. Moderns 4. Dead Ballers nothing. And we're going to get a new pitcher. All right, couple changes for the Moderns. Leon Day is going to take over on the mound. He's an A pitcher with XY modifiers. Willie Foster went 2 perfect innings, didn't strike out anybody. And he is done for the day. Also, Biz Mackey is going to take over for Josh Gibson behind the plate. He's going to bat cleanup. And that'll be the changes on the Modern side. On the dead ball side, George Carr is going to get his first at bat right now. And Tubby Scales is going to pinch hit for Bingo to Moss. And after that, Cristobal Toriente is going to bat for Pete Hill. So 3 new batters for the dead ballers as they try and change their fortunes here in the top of the 6th. Leon Day delivering to George Carr. And that is hit on the ground to Dick Lundy. It rolls up his arm, and there is no play. George Carr reaches first on the E6, and there's a start for the dead ballers. Here comes George Tubby Scales. Double play depth for the Moderns infield. Day the stretch and the delivery. And that's ball 4. That's not what the Moderns wanted there. We got 2 dead ballers on with nobody out here in the 6th. Golden opportunity and plenty of power at the plate with Cristobal Toriente, the Cuban. Pop Lloyd is on deck. Well, no, he's going to bat. All right, Day of the stretch. The pitch to Toriente. And that's going to be trouble. My friends, that's going to be big trouble. Base hit. And that's going to be over the head of Sammy Hughes into right field. Toriente drives home the first run of the game for the dead ballers. Carr speeds home from second base. Scales goes to third. There's dead ballers at the corners with nobody out. Here comes Pop Lloyd. Action starting in the Moderns bullpen. It's Hilton Smith getting loose. And Pop Lloyd steps in the batter's box. He takes the first pitch, and there goes Torrente. The throw from Biz Mackey down to Sammy Hughes is late, and Torrente steals second. There's two in scoring position now. For Pop Lloyd, there's still nobody out. Infield playing back. Day of the stretch, the pitch to Lloyd. And that's a base hit for Pop Lloyd. Into right field. Willard Brown throwing home, but the throw is cut off by Mule Suttles. We got a 4-3 game on a 2-run single by Pop Lloyd. There's still nobody out. Oscar Charleston comes up. He's the go-ahead run. It's 4-3. Moderns at the moment. Double play depth for the infield. Leon Day in all sorts of trouble now. Ollie Marcel on deck. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ollie Marcel on deck. The pitch. He hit him. Leon Day just dotted Oscar Charleston. There's 2 on. All right. Still nobody out. Marcel comes to the plate. And that's going to do it for Leon Day. Hilton Smith is ready. Leon Day exits after getting nobody out. He allows 2 hits. We don't know about the runs yet. He walked 1. He hit a batter. So that brown streak you see down Leon Day's pant leg is not from sliding. Here comes Hilton Smith. He's an A pitcher with XZ modifiers. Defense doesn't change. He's a right-hander. Excuse me. On the bases. Pop Lloyd is at second. Oscar Charleston at first. Hilton Smith the stretch and the pitch to Marcel. He squares to bunt. He pops it up. Gloved by Biz Mackey, who fires down. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Down to first base, and they get Charleston too far off the bag. It's a rally killing, soul-crushing 2-3 failed bunt double play. Pop Lloyd stays at second. Chino Smith is up. 2 outs now. 4-3 Moderns. Dead ballers looking to tie it. Smith the stretch. Spot pulls would be next. The pitch. Base hit center field. Turkey Stearns charging hard. They're waving Pop Lloyd around third. Stearns is firing home. The throw to Biz Mackey is in time. They get Pop Lloyd at the plate. An 8-2 putout ends the inning. The dead ballers get 3, but fail to do more. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We had a good game. Moderns 4, dead ball 3. Changes for the dead ballers. Cristobal Torrente is now the right fielder. Tubby Scales is now the second baseman. And I think that is it. We have a new pitcher. Cannonball Dick Redding is on the mound. Walter Ball went 1 inning. It was perfect. Redding is on now. Cannonball is a B pitcher with a YZ modifier. And he will face Judd Wilson, Willard Brown, and Ray Dandridge. The 6, 7, 8 hitters in the Moderns lineup here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Redding to Wilson. Judd is 0 for 1. The pitch. Ground ball hit to Tank Carr. He's going to take it himself, and there's one gone in the bottom of the 6th. Judd's had a tough day. Here's Willard Brown, 0 for 1. Redding kicks and deals. Hit to center. Back a few steps is Oscar Charleston, and there's 2 down. Now it's Ray Dandridge with nobody aboard. This is Ray's first at bat. And Dandridge hits a hanger from Redding. This is going to be extra bases to right center field. Cut off by Charleston. Dandridge is around first, cruising into second base with a double. Sammy Hughes now with an important insurance run at second base with 2 outs. Or as they say in Central Illinois, insurance. And he's 0 for 1, but he reached on that brutal Hurley McNair error that caused so many problems in the 4th. The pitch from Redding. Line drive at Pop Lloyd, and that's going to end the inning. But they leave a man. We go to the 7th. With your score, the Moderns 4, the Dead Ballers 3. Hilton Smith is coming out for his second inning of work. And he will face Spotswood Poles. Bruce Petway and George Tank Carr for the Dead Ballers. They're down a run. We're in the 7th. Hilton Smith, the windup and the delivery. Hit to center field. Back a few steps is Turkey Stearns. He's going to make the catch for out number 1. Bruce Petway now. His second at bat, he's 0 for 1. The pitch from Smith, that's ball 4. He's the tying run now at first. 1 on, 1 out for the Dead Ballers. George Tank Carr coming up. I love this set. Can I just say that? If you contact Chris White, don't forget to tell him that you saw my video. This set is fun. George Carr, 0 for 1. He scored when Dick Lundy let one roll up his arm last inning. 1 out, 1 on for the Dead Ballers. Tying run at first. Hilton Smith, the stretch, the pitch. Hit on the ground to Ray Dandridge to his left. He's going to go to Sammy Hughes for 1, and the relay to Mule Suttles is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing, and around the horn, and inning-ending 5-4-3 double play turned by the Moderns. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch them out. Moderns 4, Dead Ball 3. Change for the Dead Ballers. New pitcher, John Donaldson. He was Hall of Fame eligible last year, but didn't make it yet. B pitcher with a YZ modifier. Cannonball Dick Redding went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit. Donaldson will face Cool Papa Bell, Turkey Stearns, and Mule Suttles in the bottom of the 7th as the Moderns look to stretch their lead. The pitch from Donaldson to Bell is a hanger to the Cool Papa Bell. This is going to be trouble to right center. Cut off by Charleston, but Bell is not stopping. He's into second base standing with a double. Turkey Stearns up now. Nobody out. Suttles is on deck. Bill Holland and Bullet Joe Rogan start to throw in the dead ball bullpen. Stearns is 1 for 3. Donaldson the stretch and the delivery. Base hit, Turkey Stearns. Drops in front of Spot Poles. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off by Marcel. Bell scores. It's 5-3 Moderns. RBI single for Stearns. Here's Suttles. He's 0 for 1. Donaldson the stretch, the pitch to the mule. Popped up. Foul territory. Bruce Petway throws away the mask and makes the catch for out number 1. And that's a big one. Double play depth for the infield. They're trying to get out of the inning. Biz Mackey at the plate. Donaldson the stretch. The pitch to Biz. Ground ball hit to Tubby Scales. He goes to Pop Lloyd for 1. The relay to Carr at first. Not in time. Mackey beats the wrap. Stearns is retired 4-6. On the fielder's choice, Mackey safe at first. And now Dick Lundy with 2 outs. And Mackey on. It's 5-3 Moderns. Donaldson the stretch, the pitch to Lundy. Lifted in the air to left. Spot Poles near the line is going to make the catch, and that will retire the side. But the Moderns had an important insurance run on 2 hits. We go to the 8th. Moderns 5. Dead ball. Smith is done. He went 2 innings, allowed a hit and a walk, but nobody crossed the pay station. He restored order after Leon Day had the gastrointestinal trouble out there on the mound. Ray Brown is on, a big game pitcher if there ever was one. George Scales will lead off. Tubby is going to lead off the 8th. Torriente will bat 2nd. Pop Lloyd 3rd. It's the 9-1-2, part of the dead ball order coming on here in the 8th. The Moderns lead 5-3. Ray Brown winds and deals to Scales. Hit on the ground to Dick Lundy. Lundy's up with it and throws to Mule Suttles, and it's in the dirt. Mule can't dig it out. Scales is going to reach on the 2nd error of the day by Dick Lundy. That opens the door for the dead ballers. Tying run at the plate in Torriente. Brown the stretch. He is an A pitcher with XYZ modifiers. Pop Lloyd is on deck. The pitch. Chopped on the infield. It's off Ray Brown's glove. Rolling toward Dandridge. He's got no play. It's an infield hit for Torriente. Scales moves to 2nd. The tying runs are aboard and there's nobody out. Here's Pop Lloyd. We're in the top of the 8th. It's 5-3. We got a good game here. Holy smokes. Oscar Charleston is on deck. Action in the Moderns bullpen, even though none of this is really Ray Brown's fault. It's Andy Cooper and Webster McDonald. Pop Lloyd at the plate. Brown the stretch. Is he bunting? No. The pitch. And ground ball, Dick Lundy. This has been trouble. He goes to Hughes for 1. The relay to Suttles. Whoa! Torriente takes out Hughes at 2nd base. There is no return throw, but they retire Torriente at 2nd, 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Scales goes to 3rd. Lloyd is safe at 1st. Dead ballers at the corners now with 1 out for Charleston. Still 5-3 Moderns. A lot of speed on the bases for the dead ballers. Brown the stretch. Infield at double play depth. The pitch to Charlie. Comebacker. Knocked down by Ray Brown. Sammy Hughes holds at 3rd. The play is to 1st base, and they get Charleston by a step. Lloyd goes up to 2nd, but there's 2 outs now, and here's Ollie Marcel. Well, they could hit for him, but I'm not gonna. I got a feeling about Ollie Marcel. All right, here we go. Brown the stretch. Chino Smith would be next. Lloyd at second. Scales at third. The pitch. It wasn't a good feeling about Ollie Marcel, but I had a feeling. The fly ball is to Willard Brown over by the right field foul line, and he's got it for out number 3. So trouble, but no damage. The dead ballers leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-3 Moderns. All righty. That will do it for John Donaldson. Bringing on the guy that I thought might be closing this one for the dead ballers, but he still might be. He's on. It's Bullet Joe Rogan, old double duty guy for the Monarchs, and he's on here in the bottom of the 8th. He's an AXZ, A pitcher with XC modifiers. And his job, not easy. Judd Wilson, Willard Brown, Ray Dandridge. Unless I go to the bench. And left on the Moderns bench is Ted Strong and Sam Bankhead. And I'm going to hold on with them. All right. Rogan to Wilson. He's an A pitcher, XE modifier. I told you that. Judd Wilson is an 0 for 2 today, the pitch. And that's to right and deep. Back goes Cristobal Torriente, and it's gone. Judd Wilson, you can stop him for a while, but it doesn't take too many offers. 6-3 Moderns in the bottom of the 8th. Bullet Joe Rogan hung one, and Judd Wilson just lost it for him. Here's Willard Brown. 0 for 2 in the game for Willard. The pitch. And that one's chopped foul. Jam job. Here's the next delivery from Rogan to Brown. And hey, struck him out. Baked beans. Gas. One down. Now it's Dandridge. Rogan kicks and deals. Dandridge grounds this one to Pop Lloyd at short. He fires over to George Tank Carr for out number 2. And now Sammy Hughes. Rogan winds and deals. Hughes pops it up. No, he doesn't. He hits it on the ground to Suttles. No, he doesn't. He hits it on the ground to Tank Carr, who's going to take it himself, and that'll retire the Moderns. But a big insurance run on the bomb from Judd Wilson. We go to the 9th. 6-3 Moderns. Andy Cooper on for the save. He's a B pitcher with a Z modifier. Ray Brown went 1 inning. Allowed a hit, but no damage. Pitched around the second error of the game by Dick Lundy. The dead ballers need 3 to keep this game going. Or more. Chino Smith spot polls. Bruce Petway scheduled here in the 9th. On the bench for the dead ballers, Dobie Moore, Grant Johnson, Alejandro Ohms. Speed aplenty. All right. Smith is going to lead it off. Cooper to Smith. A hanger to Smith. And Smith drills this one to center and deep. Turkey turns on his horse. Warning track. Wall, and it's gone. 6-4 now. The dead ballers just took Andy Cooper out of here. Spot polls is due, and I think we're going to see a hitter. Yeah, we are. It's going to be Dobie Moore for spot pulls. Bruce Petway is on deck. Cooper shaking his head on the mound. The pitch to Dobie Moore, and there's a base hit. Right field. Drops in front of Willard Brown. The Deadballers have the tying run coming to the plate in Bruce Petway. Double play depth for the infield. Action in the bullpen for the Moderns. Their last two pitchers, Webster McDonald and Big Florida Ted Trent. All right. Petway is 0 for 1. He has walked. Tank Carr is on deck. Cooper the stretch. The pitch to Bruce. Chopped on the infield. This is off Mule Suttle's glove. They're going to charitably give Petway an infield hit. 2 on, nobody out. 6-4 game, top of the ninth. Here's Tank Carr. Problem here is he's got some power, but they could really use a bunt. Of course, that's playing for the Tide on the road, and you don't want to do that really, but oh boy. Yeah, they're going to let him bat. They're going to let him swing. 2 on, nobody out. 6-4 game, top of the ninth. Cooper the stretch. But I'll tell you what they are going to do. They're going to run for Petway. Oh, he's fast. They don't have to. Look at that. Bruce Petway can pick him up and lay him down. Cooper the stretch. The pitch to Carr. Line drive. Caught by Hughes. He goes to Lundy for 1. The relay to Suttles. We got a triple play. Rally killing, soul crushing, game ending triple play. Yikes. That's a 4-6-3 TP. Holy smokes. In the ninth, the Deadballers get 1 on 3 hits. And that's it. Wow. Yikes. Let's give you the totals. The homestanding and victorious Moderns, 6 runs, 8 hits, and they committed 1, 2 Dick Lundy errors. The Deadballers, 4 runs, 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. They committed no errors. Winning pitcher, Satchel Paige. All-star rules, don't have to go 5, so Paige gets the win. Loss would go to Williams. MVP would be Oh, Hurley McNair made an error. Excuse me, 1 for the Deadballers. I'm going to choose Hilton Smith for getting them out of the mess. Excuse me, when the Deadballers were threatening in the 6th. All right. Chris White, Negro League All-Star Set. All of the info is in the description for this video. Don't forget to tell them you saw my video. This is a lot of fun, my friends. You might be seeing these guys again on my channel. Let me know what you think in the comments. Looking good. Thanks for being with me. Hope you've enjoyed the demo of this set. Have a wonderful evening. So long, everybody.